My name is Karl. I'm a private eye. Yesterday, I was sitting in my New York-type Laverton South office when the phone rang and scared me half out of my secretary. A sultry, sexy voice purred over the line. "Who are the jazz police?" This caught my attention. She sounded to me like a jazz singer I once met. She had teeth like the 10 Commandments, all broken. "The jazz police run this town, baby," I replied. Boy, did I know about the jazz police. My last job, the case of the alto player who lost track of one, was baffling, until the vital clue popped up, a metronome with a flat battery. It led me to the jazz policeman's lair. Inside I found the alto player. He had a stab wound to his heart, bullet wounds to his head, and his wrists were slashed. He was dead. The jazz police take no prisoners. They were gone, the trail gone cold. "What are they up to now?" I asked. "No more over the phone," she whispered. "Meet me at Jiving Joe's jazz joint in 1 hour, and make sure you bring your horn. You know how to blow, don't you? Just put your 2 lips together and say, 'Arts Council grant.'" I raced downstairs and hailed a cab. The cab stopped with a jerk. The jerk got out and I got in. I gave the driver an extra redback and told him to be generous with the pedal to the metal. He took the corner at 100 kilometers per hour. A cop stopped us and told us to put it back. We drove along the footpath because there was a sign saying, "Keep death off roads." Then we were out of the city. I knew this because we weren't hitting so many pedestrians. The cab pulled up to Jiving Joe's jazz joint. The jazz singer met me at the door. She greeted me with a burning kiss. Then she took her cigarette out and kissed me again. We went into the jazz joint. She took me through to the band room. She was the leader of the Draconian Mode avant-garde collective. A gorgeous woman. She turned around and pointed 238s at me. She also had a gun. She had the most beautiful hair on her head too. "The jazz police are here," she whispered in a purring tone. "They're at the bar, disguised in grey goatee beards and slurping red wine, talking loudly through slow ballads. They know that I use George Russell's Lydian chromatic theory of soloing. They want me to stick to their pandemic of pentatonics. The jazz police rule this town. Everybody has to stay in their box. I tried breaking out, now they want to rub me out for it. I told our band manager they're here. He's trying to cut a deal, but he hasn't come back. He's left me in the lurch, so I called you. I was desperate." "Don't worry, Slinky," I replied nonchalantly. "Get your band to play some fusion music and I'll slip you out the back door while they're vomiting into the complimentary house buckets." As the band were murdering a myxomatosis mode and the jazz police had their heads in the bath-soaked sand, I slipped sweet cakes out through the back door. Outside was the manager in his car, dead. His mobile phone was still next to his ear. I picked it up. He was talking to the city morgue. He must have seen the bullet coming. We jumped in the car and made our getaway. As we turned the corner, a brick came flying through the window, hit Honey Buns on the breast, and broke 4 of my fingers. The jazz police were onto us. We needed some quick action. I grabbed the manager's mobile phone and rang Ahmet Rodan, director of I Can't Believe It's Not an Arts Grant, Incorporated. "Don't you know that the jazz police bugs everybody?" Hot Pants asked in a breathless voice. I knew his phone was tapped. I took a risk. Jazz is like that. Baby, these are the days where you have to be so tough, you wear your clothes out from the inside. "I need some dough for a freaky project," I shouted in the mobile as the jazz police gained on our funky little Be-Bop Volkswagen. "What's the angle?" Ahmet replied in a thick, husky kind of New York type Brunswick Street Fitzroy accent. "Well, the drummer will play in 7/8, the bass player will play in 3/4, the piano player will play in 5/16, while the tenor sax blows his nose." We all use Ornette Coleman's harmonic theory, and we'll wear dresses and funny hats to prove we're truly different and genuinely freaky. I'm sure it's never been done before. You've got the gig, man, Ahmet Rodan replied. Sounds terrific. Make sure you only get musicians who are sullen and withdrawn and continually drift off into the twilight world of their own secret thoughts. Also, if you rehearse, you'll ruin the magic, so don't. Make sure the musicians always go for a note they know they can never get. It sounds more authentic that way. I can't talk anymore. See you at the gig. Don't forget the kickback. Commission is 20%. One more thing. This is not jazz. This is art. Right on, brother. I threw the mobile back on the deck, turned a corner and put some smoke between me and the goatee pendant-wearing jazz fraternity on our tail. As we threw the nitro switch on the Be-Bop Volkswagen, we noticed that the jazz police were giving up the chase. My plan worked. Why? As Dollface sidled up to me, she wrapped her red ruby lips around a cigarette, took a deep breath, turned and whispered into my non-whistling ear.
True, pure music transcends all musical boundaries and becomes a higher plane of expression, releasing the artist from the bonds of categorization, thereby forcing the more aggressive elements of modern society to reevaluate their collective safety net of churning out tired retreads of former glories, not for the making of a quick buck, but to use as a springboard for delving deeper into the universe of possible new musics awaiting discovery.
Oh, I love it when you talk dirty. And with that there was a loud bang. We had a flat tyre, so we pumped. I pumped, she pumped, and then we got out and fixed the tyre. I took her home and she asked me in for a root beer. The root was nice, but the beer was flat.
Hey! Wah ha ha! Ooh! Hey! Hey! Bit risque. I'll never get a gig now. Anyway, you only live once.